Hello and welcome to Power Skills with Janna. I'm Janna Jones, your leadership development specialist, coach, and mentor, here to guide you as you build some of the most powerful skills in your toolkit. Today, we're exploring one of the most exciting, energizing, and transformative aspects of leadership: leading improvement and innovation. Creating a culture where continuous improvement and innovation can thrive can be a game changer both for your team and for your organization. In this episode, we will discuss practical strategies to foster improvement and inspire innovative thinking in yourself and in your team. Whether you're looking to develop new products, programs, optimize processes, or challenge the status quo, or simply bring fresh and interesting ideas to the table, cultivating a mindset focused on growth, improvement, and innovation can really help you to get there. So let's dive in. Perhaps we should start by understanding why improvement and innovation are as essential in modern leadership as they are in future proofing our organizations. In today's rapidly evolving world, staying stagnant is no longer an option. Companies that continuously innovate, improve, and optimize tend to have higher employee engagement, stronger performance, stronger market positions, and better adaptability to changes. Leaders who champion this growth mindset are also more likely to foster psychologically safe, motivated, forward thinking teams that feel empowered to take on new challenges and to explore some really creative solutions. Innovation doesn't only apply to breakthrough technologies or groundbreaking products, it's also about improving processes, finding new ways to serve clients well, and looking for incremental changes that not only empower ownership, autonomy, and mastery in your people, but over time, they can make a substantial impact in efficacy and efficiency and productivity as well. So, quite the compelling what's in it for me, or WIIFM, isn't it? To build a culture where improvement is the norm, we must work to strategically create an environment of psychological safety, where it's safe to respectfully challenge the status quo, to experiment, to take calculated risks, and to learn from our mistakes. So, let's break it down into a few strategies for fostering this type of a culture. Encourage curiosity, openness, and invite participation. When team members feel that they can ask questions, bring up new ideas, and challenge existing ways of thinking or doing things, they are more likely to propose and engage in improvement initiatives. As a leader, you set this example when you ask questions, seek feedback, or be open to new perspectives, showing curiosity yourself. Perhaps you might like to ask thoughtful questions and actively seek ideas from every team member in your team. Consider starting with something along the lines of: is there anything that we're missing in team meetings? Or perhaps, what could we do differently or better next time in project wrap ups, for example? You also want to make sure that you're emphasizing learning and growth over perfectionism. One of the main reasons that teams hesitate to take on innovative or improvement orientated projects is fear of failure. When we emphasize learning and growth as an opportunity, not just focusing on getting everything done right the first time, opens up the space and possibility for experimentation. Atlassian is an American Australian collaboration software company. If I were to take this lesson one step further, they actually have something that they call the failure wall. Yes, it is exactly as it sounds. Forget employee of the month. The failure wall is a place to publicly document their failures. With an active focus on lessons learned, next steps, and actions, the goal is really to create a psychologically safe environment where people feel free to fail and to learn from it. And it clearly works because Atlassian is often referenced as one of the most innovative organizations in the world. Perhaps might not go that far, but maybe there's an opportunity for your team to celebrate progress rather than perfection. and to recognize team members for their willingness to try new approaches, engaging in group conversation about what they've learned as part of that process. Consider implementing a feedback loop. Regular feedback sessions can be valuable for identifying what's working and what might be improved. This includes feedback from team members, from clients, from any stakeholders involved in the project, or even in your BAU operations. Create a structure for collecting formal feedback, perhaps even a timeline for requesting informal feedback, and then action planning. For example, you might consider holding regular retrospective meetings after a project milestone or certain times of the year, even. Asking team members for feedback on processes, structure, or even your own leadership or other opportunities that may arise at the end of their quarterly reviews. Consider how you might use this information as a guide for your future improvement opportunities as well. Empower ownership and accountability. When your people, as unique individuals, feel responsible for their contributions, having some sense of accountability, ownership, and autonomy, they are more likely to invest in the success of improvement efforts. Perhaps there is an opportunity for you to encourage team members to take ownership of their roles, their actions and processes that they lead, to contribute, to encourage ideas that support the improvement of these things. Assigning accountability for specific initiatives can also be a significant leadership development opportunity. So make sure that you also take the time to recognize people for their contributions in making the team more effective and efficient, as this will show people what you really value and how important that is as you start to foster more of the same in others. Innovation truly thrives in an environment where team members feel both inspired and equipped to think creatively. So let's start to consider some of the ways to proactively and strategically create that environment. Allocate time for creativity. We operate in such busy work environments that it's perhaps important to recognize that busy is the great killer of improvement. One way to encourage innovation is by making time for it. Google's famous 20% time policy allowed their employees to work on side projects leading to innovations like Gmail and Google News. You don't need to allocate an entire day, but perhaps you might consider setting aside an allotment of time each week for brainstorming sessions or team creativity blocks where people can start to explore new ideas. Diverse perspectives and skills, because diverse teams bring such an extensive range of perspectives, skills, and experiences that often spark innovative ideas, as long as we're open to them. The sentiment of, because this is how it's always been done, is the killer of that, so proceed with caution. You might like to encourage cross-functional collaboration by bringing people together from different backgrounds and areas of expertise to collaborate and to solve problems together. Facilitate activities or group projects that let the team members see problems from new perspectives and angles. The diversity in thought and experience often leads to breakthroughs in thinking. Recognize and reward innovation. Celebrating improvement and innovation is essential in building a culture that values it. Recognize individuals or teams who bring forward new ideas, regardless of whether those ideas are immediately implemented or even good, because first ideas are really good, but they can often be refined when we understand the problem that we're trying to solve. Recognition, maybe public or private, it's entirely up to you. It could be formal or informal. It might be monthly innovation champion shout out, or even a small acknowledgement in a team meeting for successful ideas that help us to move forward. One of the key roles of a leader in driving improvement and innovation is to create clear and compelling vision. A vision not only provides direction, but it also serves as a source of motivation, showing your team what is possible. Align innovation goals with your purpose. So when your team understands the why behind improvement and innovation, they are more likely to feel connected to the process. It may also be valuable to make it clear how these efforts align with the organization's values, purpose, and goals. For example, If your organization values sustainability, encourage innovative ideas around reducing waste or implementing eco friendly practices. Encourage a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort and learning. This is also foundational to both improvement and innovation. So, encourage your team to view challenges and setbacks as learning opportunities. Celebrate the small wins along the way because these reinforce the idea that progress is valuable, even if it's incremental. Provide the right resources and support. Problem solving, improvement, and innovative thinking do not just happen. They need to be nurtured and supported. This may mean ensuring that your team has the resources, training, and tools that they need to explore improvement initiatives and innovative ideas. Do you have a problem solving resource such as a 5 Whys or a platform such as Jira? Even change management tools within your organization from which they can start. Additionally, be prepared to advocate for your team when they have an idea that's worth investing in. By championing their improvement ideas, you'll create a team culture where people feel their contributions are valued and supported, ultimately inviting more of the same in return. It is so natural to encounter challenges along the way, especially when it comes to solving the right problems. Think root cause rather than symptoms. Implementing change or getting others on board with a new idea. So let's take some time now to consider a few of the common barriers and how you might proactively start to address or even mitigate them. Resistance to change will always come up. People are so often hesitant to change their routines, their ways of working, their processes. These are things that they're comfortable and familiar with. But you can combat this by being really open and transparent, explaining the benefits of change and actively addressing concerns up front. Invite team members to share their thoughts and acknowledge any valid concerns. A collaborative approach can greatly reduce resistance and help everyone feel a part of the change process. Often, resistance comes from that feeling a loss of control. So, getting buy in via inviting participation, getting people to share their concerns, coming up with opportunities to make improvements or mitigate some of those risks that people are raising, invites participation that can lead to a greater sense of ownership and reduced resistance to change. Short term thinking is something else that often comes up. We get stuck on focusing on our immediate results, often because we're so busy, but that can really hinder long term improvement. So, encouraging your team to see beyond short term wins and focusing on the bigger picture may be key. Balance out short term objectives with long term goals to create a vision of sustainable improvement and innovation over time. Resource constraints. Sometimes lack of resources, whether that's time, budget, or personnel to do the job, can limit innovative efforts. When this happens, perhaps you might aim to encourage creative solutions that can be implemented within the current constraints, whether that's over incremental changes over a longer period of time. These incremental improvements can then lead to significant change over time, even if the resources are quite limited. Or perhaps better understanding the efficacy or cost savings that can be generated may be a future tipping point for resource acquisition, if that's helpful as well. Leading improvement and innovation requires more than just good ideas. It does take commitment, openness, and a willingness to support your team through the ups and downs of change. But by fostering a culture that values growth, learning, and creativity, you are actively creating an environment where continuous improvement and innovation can truly thrive. Remember that improvement and innovation are journeys unto themselves, not destinations. So, encouraging your team to embrace the process, celebrating small steps along the way, and keep pushing forward even when challenges arise. It has been such a pleasure to connect with you today on Power Skills with Janna. I hope you're feeling inspired to lead your team towards improvement and innovation with a renewed sense of purpose. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe for more insights and practical tips on engaging in your leadership skills. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please reach out on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn via Power Skills Development. And if you're ready to take your leadership to the next step, head to www.powerskillsdevelopment.com to work with us further. If you have the time, please consider leaving a review, as it helps other leaders to find us on their own growth journey, and we can all be better together. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember to stay open, stay curious, and keep leading the way. Have a fabulous rest of your week.